Hello, and welcome along to another Chris McPherson show. Live watch along, some NBL action coming to you. And we are looking forward to this one as Adelaide head to Brisbane or to the Gold Coast to take on Brisbane in the Ignite Cup. The final night of Ignite Cup round matches. Adelaide a chance to lock themselves into the title match of the in-season playoffs. $400,000 cold hard cash on the line for the winner of that finals. Pretty straightforward for Adelaide. They win 3 quarters and the game, and they'll lock in their spot in the final on February 22nd. Great to have you all joining us. And coming along for the ride as first plays last on the NBL ladder. Brisbane are just playing for pride. They are eliminated officially from NBL finals or playoffs and play-ins. And their interim coach, Darryl McDonald, said he wants them to play with pride in each of their final 5 matches, despite their mounting injury toll. They're missing Casey Prather, Dakota Mathias, Javon Freeman Liberty, Lamar Patterson, Sam McDaniel, and Tyrell Harrison. It's a huge list of players out of action. As we said, there's 4 teams still in contention for 2 spots. 3 of them are in action tonight in the Ignite Cup. New Zealand Breakers, well, they're not quite locked in. They're watching nervously as these teams go head-to-head. They're sitting in a pretty good spot. They would need Perth would have to win by a huge amount to knock them out of their and Adelaide win as well. If they win all 4 quarters, Perth. Southeast Melbourne can get in there if Adelaide don't win the game. But this first game could well determine it all and lock it all up if Adelaide seal 3 quarters and a win. Good to have you all with us. Make sure to hit like and subscribe on the video and the channel respectively if you're just joining us. And get involved in those comments. Don't be shy. Good to see you there early, AJ. Always good to have some familiar names popping up in the chat. Still trying to push along to that 750 subs. So make sure to come along for the ride. Great to have you with us as we try and push along there by mid-February. But the game not far from tipping off. So let's have a look at how the 2 starting 5s do line up. NE, it's been a while. Good to see you, my friend. Thank you for coming back on. We'll be back again tomorrow night too for some action. We'll see how we go from there. But these starting 5s. For Brisbane Bullets, it'll be Tane Murray, Hunter Maldonado, Mitch Norton, their captain, Jacob Holt, and Terry Taylor. That's the starting 5. The bench, Tristan Devers, Callum Dalton, Jack Purchase, Towie Smith-Milner, and Jensen Bradke is the squad. And then the Adelaide 36ers, we've got Flynn Cameron, Isaac Humphries, the MVP apparent, Bryce Cotton is their captain, John Jenkins, their new import, and Zylan Cheatham. The bench, Matt Kenyon, Isaac White, Michael Harris, Keanu Rasmussen, Nick Rakosevich, and DJ Vasiljevic. Actually got picked up on it the other day. It's not Rakosevich, it's Rakosevic, I've been told. So I'll try and get that one right tonight. Nick Rakosevic and DJ Vasiljevic. The Balkan names can be a trick for me sometimes. But we're all but set for tip-off here. Good to have you all tuning in. So, NE, you're joining us. I need to ask, the NE in your name, does that have anything to do with New England? Because if it does, you would be up and about after the Patriots got through to the Super Bowl. If it doesn't, shoot me down. Just so everyone knows, too, just doing the 1 game tonight. We won't be doing the double header. Got an early start tomorrow, so need to park it up. But we will be back tomorrow night for some more action as Sydney take on Illawarra in the final F3 derby of the season. Sorry, M1 derby, I think it is. F3 is north of Sydney. And then we'll see how we go. We might even be able to get the early game on Friday between New Zealand and Melbourne United as well. We'll see how we can go there. But we'll try and get the 3. Brisbane playing for pride in the jersey. They are in a world of hurt, unfortunately, the Bullets as it stands at the moment. Just 5 games to go. Cairns already have a game in hand on them and a win, so Brisbane would need to start winning and winning rapidly. It's your dog's first name and your last name. You hate the Patriots. Yeah, okay. Fair enough. Like the rest of us. They were supposed to be bad for years. That was the trade-off for them having Brady. Anyway. So there's a weird conspiracy floating around now that there was a photo done in the preseason and it had Sam Darnold and Drake May closest to the trophy. At all 32 teams expected starting quarterbacks at the start of the season had those two right near the trophy. Love a conspiracy. Hey, Ken, how are you, my friend? Thank you for all your engagement recently on the channel. And appreciating you getting involved in the comments on a few of the other videos as well, mate. So thank you. Good to have you back. We're underway here. Adelaide have got the first possession. Cotton's on the ball. Little bounce pass. Isaac Humphries just outside the edge of the lane at the top of the 3-point line. Lobs it in. Zylan Cheatham draws the foul and will go to the line. Bucket doesn't drop, so it will just be 2 free throws to start us off here. 13 seconds gone and they're already at the line. Hits the first one. And he's 2 from 2. Clips the rim and drops in. Straight away, Mitch Norton drives it down. Hand off. Maldonado sweeping around. Steps across. Drives into the paint. Fumbles the ball. And it's turned over. Humphries gets a hand to it. Pull up 3-pointer. And that drops. John Jenkins. He's a dangerous man if he gets his feet set. They lead 5-0 after 40 seconds. What are we riding tonight, guys? Maldonado fires it out. 3-point shot back for Brisbane. I think that was Terry Taylor. It was. And again, 3-point shot for Jenkins. Doesn't go. Taylor the rebound. Not gun shy about hitting the trigger tonight. Taylor steps up. Another 3 for him. Leaves it heavy over the 178. Has anyone been watching the tennis? I thought Novak was on toast earlier until Mazzetti withdrew. We're talking other sports, so nice little bucket there from Cotton. 1.5 gone. And Sinner in action as we speak in the tennis. Last of the quarterfinals. Cotton just runs down the floor uncontested after they get the stop, and Brisbane will take a timeout at 9-3 after 1:45. Early run for the 36ers has been quite strong. You'd be happy with the scoring early, Ken. Adelaide already almost unbackable in the head-to-head market. The total's pushed up to 184. The line's 24.5 live. Timeout breaks and we're all set to go again. 1:45 gone on the clock. Bryce Cotton leading with 4 points at the moment. Terry Taylor 3 for the Bullets. John Jenkins 3 for the 36ers. Brisbane possession. Maldonado takes it down the court. Just looking for some space. Drives to the edge of the lane. Gets up and over. Doesn't go. No contest. Norton scrapes around and cleans it up. Pass it back. Holt's there. Gives it off. Norton's over the top. Just floats it up and over and gets the bucket. That's what they're looking for out of the timeout, Brisbane. Those second chance points. That line was 19.5 in the lead up to this game. It looked quite juicy, but I'm not sure where the motivation is for Brisbane at the moment. There's a nice ball inside from Cheatham. Humphries wanders his way into the paint and gets fouled. He'll also go to the line at 9-5. 7:29 on the clock. Adelaide in possession at the free throw line. Humphries hits the first. They can't let them run away too quickly here, Brisbane. Makes the second as well. As much as Adelaide haven't been great at finishing games, if they get away from them here, I can't see Brisbane reeling them back in. Norton slides between two defenders, fires it back out. Taylor swings it wide. Murray for three. Doesn't go. Cotton takes the rebound. Flicks it off to Zylan Cheatham. Drives down the right edge of the court. Fires it out. Jenkins thinks about a three. Steps inside the painted line. Takes a two with his feet set nicely. And they lead by 8 Adelaide. 3 minutes gone. Maldonado now. Terry Taylor. Fires around Norton. Maldonado, a little pop pass over the top to Holt. He's bodying up against Humphries at the top of the three-point line. Hands it off to Maldonado. He goes in for a couple. Tries to draw the foul, but Isaac Humphries just swats the ball out of his hands. Gives it back to Bryce Cotton, who had an open bucket, but hands it off selflessly. And Humphries makes the two. 6:30 on the clock. 10-point deficit for Brisbane already. Norton working around. He's got space. He tries to lob it over the top. Terry Taylor does well. Takes it under pressure. Hits the bucket. And he's going to get an N1. Maldonado doing a lot of work. He's just got to not overplay his hand. Taylor at the line. First free throw for Brisbane. Jenkins will take a breather. And beautifully drained by Taylor. Excellent technique. 15-8. Flynn Cameron working it around now. Kosovic is out there. Nice jumper from three. Doesn't go, though, for Cotton. I think it's come off Taylor last. It's going to be 36ers ball. 6:05 on the clock. Oh, so Nick would have definitely had the unders, I reckon, Ken. He loves an unders, we know that. Great to have you all joining us. If you're jumping on for the first time, make sure to hit like and subscribe on the video. Channel. Get involved in the comments. Don't be shy. It's always good to have you all involved and engaged. 3-point shot for the Bullets. Didn't register that last Adelaide bucket. There we go. 4.5 minutes gone. They lead by 9. Cotton on the 45. A little fumble outside the 3-point line. He pulls back, takes his time, and Norton reaches in, tries to take the ball. The referee says there was some contact there. DJ Vasiljevic checks in. Interesting move bringing in John Jenkins. Very similar player to DJ. Feet set outside the arc. No faith in the three. No, he loves an under. He's nearly got me convinced. I tell you what, there's a three. Isaac White. Adding salt to the wounds for Brisbane. 5 minutes and 4 seconds remaining in the first quarter. And it's a big margin. Taylor's outside. Thinks about the three. Decides better of it. Driving into the paint and into the lane. That is a nice little layup there for Tristan Devers. He's looked good in the few more minutes he's got. I wouldn't be surprised if he becomes a more key role for Brisbane or another team next season. Oh, that one's intercepted. Poor pass there by Matt Kenyon. No, Isaac White out there. Brisbane firing the ball around outside the three-point arc. Think about the three-point shot through Murray. Back to Devers. Devers up against Cheatham. Cheatham gets their hand in. They're going to call it a foul. One of those ones that could have gone either way. And 4.9 left on the shot clock. Now they work it back in. Taylor's there. Smith-Milner gives it off. Maldonado back to Taylor. He shapes the three. He had Cheatham there. Steps away from him. Fires it out wide. A little feint from Devers. DJ Vasiljevic fell for it, and he drains the three on the second go. 4 minutes remain in the first quarter. Great to have you all joining us. Make sure to get involved in the comments. Hello, J Bell. Taylor always faking the three and driving when he's wide open. He does like that, doesn't he? I just think he's not naturally taking as much of a volume of shots from outside three in any other system he would have played in. So I think for him, it's probably a little bit of lack of confidence because he's not normally been that lead three-point shooter. And even when he is, he's probably not getting as many looks as he's getting here. But because they're defending the paint and working Maldonado, he's getting quite a few looks. Brisbane inbound at the offensive baseline. They fire it across. Murray comes in, little leaping jumper, banks it in off the backboard. And before you know it, it's back to a 5-point ball game. Nice little run for Brisbane. 5-point run gets them right back into this. White thought about the three-pointer, stumbled, fires it out to DJ Vasiljevic. He hits the three-pointer from the right wing. DJ set and scores. Doing what he does best. Maldonado fires it out. Murray for three. Gets one back. Inside the last 3 minutes of the first quarter. Now Cotton. Step back across. Drifts in. Fires the ball in. Oh, Kosovic. A nice little decoy. And then just floats it up off the glass. And they're back out. To a 5-point lead. Just seeing what's happening here. The match scoreboard is having a bit of an issue. Hey, Ken, no, not tonight. I've got a really early start tomorrow, mate. So just one game tonight, but I'll be back tomorrow. And I'm going to try and do the 5:30 game on Friday as well. So just be one game each tonight and Friday, but there we go. They're up to date now. 25-20, 2:22 on the clock. Just joining us for the first time, make sure to hit like and get involved in the comments. I'd love it if you hit subscribe as well. I'm not quite sure what's going on there. He was lucky to get away with the foul there, Flynn Cameron. He just trampled Devers. I thought he might have been set, but he mustn't have quite got there. And just for good measure, he threw it up underneath the backboard. Let's have a look here. Oh, yeah. He didn't get that left foot set inside the lane. He's always backpedaling, and Cameron had his advantage. Just looked sloppy in the end. Cameron will go to the line. 5-point ball game. Brisbane have done well to bring this back after they trailed by as much as 12. 2:13 on the clock. Cameron at the line again. Second shot. And he hits it too. That was sweet. Nothing but net. 27-20. 2:08 on the clock. Maldonado brings it down across half court. Working it around. Nice little pass inside. Holt goes to the hoop and slams it home. 27-22. 1:55 on the clock. Kenyon's out there. DJ Vasiljevic fires it back to Flynn Cameron. No Bryce on the court. This is a rare sight for Adelaide. Cameron just drives into the paint, banks it in, and takes another 2. Maldonado calls for calm. Directs Brisbane down court. 1 minute 30 to go. He drives inside the three-point line, gives it off to Holt. Holt fires it back. Divas handoff. Smith-Milner thinks about the 3, switches it across. Murray goes from the left wing, doesn't quite go. It wasn't far away. Flynn Cameron now running the point with Cotton off. Vasilovic slices through a couple. Rolls in, banks it up. Can't get it to go, but he's fouled. They're shooting foul. He go to the line for 2 with 1:07 on the clock. DJ Vasilovic at the line. Already has 5 points. Make that 6. They lead by 8 with 1:07 on the clock. Mike Wells is up and about and very animated. Tristan Divas just getting some attention on his wrist. DJ Vasilovic hits the second as well. 9-point lead. Maldonado takes us back down court. Make sure to get involved in the chat, guys. Don't be shy. I'd love to know where you're tuning in from, what you're up to on your Wednesday. Beautiful work, Norton. Little bounce pass, and then Holt goes up again and just slams it home. Loves the dunk, does the big boy. 40 seconds on the clock now. Cotton back out there, gives it inside. Rakocevic. Matt Kenyon's there, fires it back out. Flynn Cameron fakes the 3, crosses over, comes back. Looking to get the mismatch, fires it out. Kenyon, open 3, decides to come in, drives in, lays it up. Finger roll, hits the 2. In Brisbane, J-Bell. Good to have some Aussies tuning in. Are you a Bullets fan, mate, or as the Bullets try and wind this one down, Maldonado will try and use as much of the clock as he can. Steps up for 3 with not long on the clock, doesn't get it. And Rakocevic will try and throw it down court. Won't get anywhere. 33-24 at quarter time. New Jets football. Harry, good to see you, my friend. So yeah, just for you guys, as I said before, we'll be just doing the one game tonight. We'll do one game tomorrow with the Thursday night game as well. I would have that the Perth game was the earlier game tonight, but wasn't to be. And then, yeah, as I said, I'll try and do one game on the early game Friday night. That should fit with the schedule. Certainly a lot of sport going on. We're covering plenty of it on the channel at the moment. Plenty of cricket happening. The Aussies in action in the Under-19 World Cup as well. They're off to a fly. They're 2 for 106 off 15 overs. So racing along. Ollie Peake, who played for the Melbourne Renegades, just come into bat. Openers Will Malachuk, 48 from 30. It's a good start. Up against the West Indies. A win will see Australia through, if I'm not mistaken. At quarter time here, it certainly looks like Adelaide's got the upper hand. They've got 1 point in the bank. They take all 7 points in the Ignite Cup. You get a point for winning each quarter and 4 points if you win the match. 3 points, sorry, if you win the match. So 7 points on the line. If they take all of them, they go through. Yeah, I don't think Brisbane's going to win tonight the way they're playing, Harry. You're obviously talking some A-League. Brisbane will be taking on the Newcastle Jets. Harry's up and about. West Indies came back out of nowhere versus Afghanistan. They did, didn't they? Yeah, that was Yeah, I don't know what's happening with the West Indies. They're a bit hot and cold. Tell you what has been impressive. Yeah, I wouldn't sleep on them, but they're not consistent enough for me, Ken. That's the challenge. Tell you what is consistent enough for me is this Indian T20 men's side. They chased down 150 in 10 overs the other night. AJ, how are you, my friend? Second quarter just started, guys, here. And Brisbane in possession. Might come back to the cricket chat. Hit your first quarter bet. That's a great start, AJ. Terry Taylor can't get that one to hit, though. I'd love your thoughts, Jay Bell. Obviously a Brisbane fan, as you said, as Bryce gets a bucket. Montrezl Harrell came out today or yesterday and said that he's keen to come to Brisbane next year. Do you want Big Trez? Montrezl Harrell, I'll tell you what, he'll put bums on seats. It'll be entertainment. It'll be high risk, high reward. As the ball's just slapped down there. And out of bounds. Brisbane ball again. Be interesting because it's gone back to half court and they've only got 4 seconds on the clock. Have to get a shot away very quickly here. Maldonado drives down, gets to the lane, lays it up. Doesn't go anyway. Was he being fouled? No. It did go. Thought that missed altogether. I think Perth will be up 16 at half time. In the later game, AJ, is that what you're talking about? The 36ers. Look, they could well be if they get a run on here, but Brisbane aren't going away. There's the bucket for the 36ers. Jenkins up to 7 points. Taylor working it around, drops it back to Maldonado outside the 3-point line. Holt's there as well. Sweeps to the right. On the 45, 1 foot inside the 3-point, 1 foot outside. Look, I like the passion from Perth. I just don't think they're consistent enough over 4 quarters. Oh, Holt with the step back and fade away almost. He was falling away. And he's going to go to the line as well. 37-28. Yeah, I think you want box office players, hey, J Bell. That's my approach. I'd love to see him up against Kendrick, Sydney versus Brisbane next year. That'd be great value. Yeah, you're exactly right. I don't know why they seem to bench AJ Joe Luala-Chul in the second half so much. Norton gets the added bucket, back to an 8-point game. I'm not going to profess to be a basketball coach, but it's quite puzzling. Yeah, there's been games when he hasn't been in foul trouble, though, and at the end of the day, there's a ball just inside, not even looking like going to a target. John Jenkins and feeds it straight into the hands of a Brisbane player. Not going to get a 16-point lead with turnovers like that. Taylor open 3, overshoots it. DJ Vasiljevic comes away, gives it to Bryce Cotton. Slice into the middle, pull up 3, hits the rim and comes off. Taylor knocks it back down to a teammate in Maldonado. Looks like Flynn Cameron getting ready to check back in. Maldonado working it around. Hey, Jaya, good to see you. Yeah, I think Doolittle's having to do too much at the moment. Taylor with another missed 3. Doolittle's having to play a big hand at the moment. Well, Jaya, I think Ken's on the overs at the moment, which is looking all right at the moment with 7:12 on the clock in this second quarter. Jenkins for 3. That's nice, that is. Made up for his poor pass just before. You're on the under. I guess it depends where you got it at. It was anywhere from 178 to 184 before the game, so there was quite a range at different points I saw. Ball inside, Holt up and over. That's about his 4th dunk of the game. Yeah, I think they need to use JLA a bit more like how Sydney used to use Xavier before they had KD. Oh, DJ with a missed 3. Ice couldn't get it to go back, Isaac Humphries. 6 minutes 30 on the clock till half time. Great to have you all tuning in. If you haven't already, please hit like on the video and subscribe on the channel. Nice little finger roll work from Mitch Norton gets us back to 7-point ball game. And we have a timeout. How do I think they match up against each other, as in Cooks and JLA? Jay has got 185 and 195. Surely 195 should be plenty. He must have sold some juice there. So we've got the definitive source. JBL says that Montrez should come to Brisbane. I think it'd be great to see him back in the league, and I think he's got some unfinished business. Oh, you got 195 live. Yeah, nice. Okay. After that early flurry. I don't mind that at all. Don't mind that at all. We're at 73. Still 6:20 to go in this quarter. What's that? 13:40. So about a third of the way through. If it maintains this rate, we're in massive trouble because that's going to rocket us out to 210. How does Perth match up against Southeast? I think it comes down to whether JLA or Geordie Hunter gets into foul trouble. If they don't, I think Southeast probably a deeper roster. That true point guard missing for Perth's the hard bit, AJ. But yeah, if Geordie gets in trouble, he's more foul prone than JLA is, to be fair. So if they can drag him into that then forces Sobey out a bit more. Means that they don't really have a backup big, and so all of a sudden then it takes John Brown away from the shutdown role. So yeah, if you can get Geordie Hunter in foul trouble early, as Isaac Humphries gets another bucket for Adelaide, then I think you're absolutely every chance. But it's just, can you roll 4 quarters with a team that's got Sobey and Clark, Glover and Foxwell as well? Oh dear, that's an airball 3 from Tane Murray. Didn't even get close to the hoop. Then Cameron driving in, pops it out. Smith Milner, he fumbled it at first, but then got it out in front of himself, and then Glenn Cameron gave away a foul to stop a runaway Tane. Not to be confused with a runaway train. Jeez, that's a bad dad joke, that is. I think they're just reviewing this as to... Yeah, interesting. They're just reviewing it. See whether it's flagrant. It's an upgraded foul. Yeah, you can't judge when they play Cairns or Brisbane because you just don't know what you're getting from that other side. Murray misses the first free throw. Yeah, the reviews do slow it down a bit. Getting through an all right tempo at the moment, though. All up. Murray gets the second one. And it'll be Brisbane ball after that was upgraded, that foul. 34-42, 8-point ball game. They're keeping it close without really giving themselves much hope. But as we know, in the NBL, 8 points isn't all that much of a margin. They fire it out. Maldonado now on the right edge, inside the 3-point line. Norton steps inside the 3-point line on the left wing and then just falls over. No, he doesn't fall over. There's contact on him, so he'll go to the free throw line for 2. Not really, Ken. It's too hard for me to try and stop it correctly all the time is the biggest challenge because it's stop-start. So I manually do the scoring, and yeah, I'd need to manually do the clock as well, and it just becomes a little bit challenging, unfortunately, mate. And I'll work on some different technological aspects in the off-season so that we can hopefully have some additional stuff on the screen. But at the moment, I can't get that to work at the moment. So Norton hits the first free throw, 42-35. Hey, J Bell, I assume you're talking about Montrez. or the Perth and Southeast matchup. One of the two. Another bucket for another point from the free throw for Brisbane. 6-point ball game. Tell you what, it'll sell Sydney and Brisbane if that's what you're talking about. Yeah, 5:15 on the clock now, Kent. 42-36. The foul, and Cotton's going to inbound from the sideline, I think. Adelaide. There we go. It was White to bring it in instead. And they're working it around. Just drifting in. Flynn Cameron fires it out. Jenkins lofts it over the top. Rakosevich mishandles. And Divas is away the other way. Pulls it back for Norton. Realises the lane closed down. Maldonado will run the point here. 4:52 on the clock. 6-point ball game. Into Terry Taylor. Back. 3-point shot from Maldonado. He was deep. Doesn't get it to go. Jenkins takes the rebound. Quickly fires it off to Cotton. He's got two players with him. Decides to do it all himself and just gracefully, as you like, lays up for 2 points. 44-36, 4:30 remaining in the first half. Work it around now. Taylor under pressure. He's double teamed. Fires it out to Norton. They can't find the mismatch just yet. Smith-Milner's there. Gets it back to Taylor. Works his way inside the paint. Fumbles the ball, loses it off his leg, and it goes out of bounds. 4:13 on the clock, and that will be Adelaide ball. .410 remaining. 44-36. Flynn Cameron working it across the left edge. Gets a 45-degree angle outside the three-point line. Just bounce pass into Kosovic. He goes up, gets a shot away, but he's drawn the foul from Smith-Milner. Be a shooting foul, I believe, so we go to the line. Kosovic, 2 points so far, looking to double that with free throws. Smith-Milner gets his first personal. Kosovic gets the first. 9-point ball game, 3:56 on the clock. And the second. Back to a 10-point margin. Yeah, it's pretty wild, AJ, that it's only 20. I'm going to be honest, mate. I have not had a look. I've had a fairly full-on day with my day job today. So that's kept me very busy today. I've been playing catch-up because I had a long weekend away. An extended 5-day weekend. So been playing, clean up the emails most of the day and sort out some challenges. Oh, nice interception there. Divas is going to go down uncontested to the hoop. He hangs off the rim. Gets it back to 8 points, 3:22 on the clock. I'll have a bit of a look at halftime if I get a minute, AJ, and I'll let you know my thoughts. Oh, another turnover. This time Norton steals it from Jenkins. Brisbane, they're up and about here. They fire it wide. Norton for three. Oh, it wasn't Norton, it was Holt, and it was horrific. There's a reason that the big man shouldn't shoot three. Goes out of bounds instead, off Taylor. We'll have everyone tuning in. Brisbane and Adelaide in the Ignite Cup. 46-38, 3 minutes on the clock. Yeah, this is an Ignite Cup game. Yeah, that's correct. And the next one will be as well. The Perth Southeast Melbourne will be the last one. So it counts towards both regular season standings and the Ignite Cup. Yeah, JBL they are, but 3-point shot for Brisbane doesn't go. They grab it back, but we're going to have a foul. I think Divas might have been fouled in trying to retrieve the rebound. They are, but lots builds up, and if I had every second weekend as a 5-day weekend, I think I'd need to earn twice as much to pay for my recreation and time off. Twice as much time to spend it. It was nice. Got down to Adelaide for a few days, which was good. Caught up with people. So if Adelaide win all 4 quarters here, AJ, they will lock in a spot in the Ignite Cup final, which will be played on the 22nd of February. Divas, it wasn't pretty, but it worked. 46.39, 2:40 on the clock. And I think that 46.40. That's the only way, though, that they get through. No, I think... let me bring up the ladders. I've got it here somewhere. There it is. So if Adelaide could still make it. I'm just having a look. Perth and Southeast. So one of them will be on 17. It all depends on the Perth and Southeast game if Adelaide don't win every quarter. But realistically, even if they win 3 quarters, they should still be locked in, I think, from memory. Yeah, nice. Yeah, I'll be getting down to another Kings game, I think, on the 15th, which is always good. It's good to watch it live. And I get another bucket. $48.40. And we're going to have Flynn Cameron at the line. In terms of the Ignite Cup, well, if Adelaide get 5 quarters here, 5 quarters, if Adelaide get 3 quarters here, I don't think they can make it. I think that'll knock them out. I think theirs and Southeast Melbourne's numbers and percentage will be inferior. I think it'll be Adelaide, New Zealand, unless Perth could win all 7 quarters, but they'd need to win the game by, I think, like 60 points or something if Adelaide get enough quarters here, if Adelaide win 3 quarters. So free throws went on there. So yeah, I find it a stretch that might happen. Oh, beautiful 3-pointer for Cotton. But no, they won't. The 3 doesn't count. So there's a 1-point lead in this quarter for Adelaide at the moment. A legal screen from Flynn Cameron. Would have been a 3-point play. So that's why the spread's 21. Not on the Perth game, surely. Oh, on here, right. 1:42 on the clock. Timeout. Trying to work out the defence. Adelaide know that every point counts here. Not sure if... Not sure if it's a coach's challenge or just a timeout. Just trying to work out what's happening here. A lot of confusion. Update from the Cricket Australia 2 for 152. 20 overs gone. 2 for 125, I should say. I can't read my numbers. Dyslexic today. Brisbane ball, 1:41 on the clock. Great to have you all tuning in. If you haven't already, please hit like on the video. And if you're joining us for the first time or you're coming back and you haven't before, make sure to hit subscribe. We're back tomorrow night, probably Friday night as well. As Holt draws a foul. He had about 3 decoy shots there. Eventually someone was going to touch something. He's going to go to the line for 2 here. Pressure's on. As it stands at the moment, live score in this quarter, 17-16 to Adelaide. They need to win 3 quarters. If they don't get this one done, they need to win the last 2. Remembering, if they do that, get the 3 quarters, they go through into the Ignite Cup in-season cup final for $400,000. Holt gets 1. We're all level in the quarter. 1:26 on the clock. Gets a second. 8-point ball game. And Brisbane lead this quarter. Oh, Zylan Cheatham drew 3 defenders and just popped it up for a nice, easy Isaac Humphries layup. 52-42. Adelaide lead the quarter by 1. That's almost more important than the actual match score. Brisbane working it wide. Every quarter matters in the Ignite Cup. Maldonado bounce pass inside. I thought Holt was dispossessed, but they're going to say he's fouled and he's going to go to the line again. Not necessarily, but more than likely, I think, is the way that it's going to work out, yeah. Because I think teams can only get to 20, which will be equal with the Breakers, and I think their points difference will be too high. So South East Melbourne's on 12.5. Perth's on 13 at the moment. First free throw goes. So, you know, makes sense, AJ. If you know much about the population of the Gold Coast, it's basically a home game for New Zealand. JBL can talk you through that. I just realised that it's JB, not J Bell. Sorry, Jay. Might be easier just to go with J. Dylan Cheatham turns it over too. Dear, oh dear. 45 seconds on the clock and they're down by 1 in the quarter and they don't have the ball. What am I backing here? Oh, I'm backing that Adelaide will win the last 2 quarters if they don't win this one. 3-point shot for Brisbane. Bounces everywhere. Try to tip it in. They try to go again. They get another rebound. Norton steps it away. 11-second differential shot clock to game clock. Maldonado. Nice little switch over. Turns, spins, bumps, swatted away. Out of bounds. Maldonado holding his ankle. That's not good for Brisbane fans. 3.1 on the shot clock. 13.8 on the game clock. Maldonado's in a world of hurt. Let's just have a look at the replay. What's happened here? Oh, he just rolled his ankle underneath him. Just under his own weight. Exactly right, Jay. It's well, it and Bondi are both periphery cities of New Zealand, I think. So, but yeah, Jay, I think yeah. Just having a look at this injury to Maldonado again. He's just just rolled his ankle, got it caught underneath, and just rolled it in under like that. That's the best I can do. I'm clearly no physio. So he's hobbling off. That's a rough blow for an already decimated Brisbane side. He's putting some weight on it though, so that's positive. Giving some high fives to the kids on the way off. He is the key to their offense. You are exactly right, AJ. Even more so now that Adelaide should win the last 2 quarters, which should be enough for them. Just a reminder, this game is being played on the Gold Coast at the home venue for, it's the Gold Coast Roll, as they're called in the NBL 1. As Holt goes up and over, gets it home. And with 9 seconds on the clock, Adelaide won't win this quarter. Nope, that's the wrong way. There we go, that's more accurate. Adelaide are going to call a timeout, are they? Yeah, I hope so too. It's been good to see him. I liked him at South East Melbourne. He just didn't seem to be in the right scheme. JLA and Doolittle over. Oh, that's juicy. So they need 3 points to get a half. 3 points to get a half point from the quarter. So if they hit a 3-pointer here with 2 seconds on the clock, Adelaide, they'll split the point, which certainly won't hurt their cause. But they may as well. I mean, they're not going to win the quarter. but a half point just gives them a bit more security, especially if Southeast do go on to beat Perth. So, I mean, at the moment, they'll be heading to, they'll get 5 points. They'll be on 20. They go to 20.5, which would put them out of reach of both Perth and Southeast Melbourne anyway. No, 4.5 points. That'd put them 19.5. Put them out of reach of Southeast Melbourne with a better for and against, unless Southeast Melbourne win by probably 20 something. So lots of live permutations. 2 seconds on the clock. Cheatham to inbound it. DJ Vasiljevic, Jenkins, Cotton, and Cameron are there. Cameron pulls to the corner, hits for a 3, doesn't get it. So at half time, it is 52-46 Adelaide lead. They've picked up 1 point. You think they're well on their way to the 3 points. So that is half time. As always, guys, if you haven't already, please hit like on the video, hit subscribe on the channel, and get involved in the comments. Let us know where you're tuning in from and what you're up to on your Wednesday. Maldonado, yeah, that's correct, Jay. Yeah, I'm certain he's only signed to the end of the season, so that'd be a good one if they can pick him up. But I'm going to take a short break. I'll be back with you in about 10 minutes for the second half, guys. We'll take a little breather while these teams are heading through. We'll recap the scorers actually before we go. Jacob Holt is leading all scorers for Brisbane with 17 points. Absolutely firing at the moment. Tristan Devers, 9 points. Tane Murray, 6 points. In terms of rebounds, Norton with 4 and Terry Taylor with 3 are the lead candidates for Brisbane. On the other side, Jenkins has 10 points. Cotton, 8 points. Humphries, 8 points. Cameron, 8 points. DJ Vasiljevic, 7 points. Assists, we've got Bryce Cotton and Zolan Cheatham with 4 each. And rebounds, Cotton, Cheatham, and Rakocevic all with 3 each. So that is the halftime scores. It is Adelaide up by 6. How many threes does Bryce have? He has none from 2 so far, AJ. I'm going to take a little break. I'll be back with you with the second half in about 8 minutes or so. And I'll have a quick look at that Perth game for you while I'm grabbing a breather, AJ. Talk to you soon. Hello and welcome back to a live watch along on the Chris McPherson Show. Brisbane and Adelaide. Third quarter -8.5 is the line for me, and that's disgusting. Yeah, it's a pretty significant line for a quarter. I don't know this condition of Maldonado just yet. Just on that, AJ, I had a quick look. I don't mind your play on Doolittle. I'll be taking him for 20 plus points if I was going to have a crack at him. I'm not sure I'd back JLA because his minutes might be managed. As Adelaide get flying to start this third quarter, and they score through Flynn Cameron. One I did like was taking some Geordie Hunter and match unders points respectively. Geordie Hunter 11.5 points, or 12.5 another book if you want to get that, and 192.5 the line as Holt tries to drain a 3, doesn't go. Just trying to get this back up to speed. There we go. 9:20 on the clock. 40 seconds gone in this quarter. And Adelaide drain a 3. They are firing to start this quarter. Now 50% from 3 points. Brisbane 16%. Holt fires it out. Taylor gives it off. Sweeping around is Murray. Works his way in. Ball swatted away. And Isaac Humphries gets the steal. Gives it off to Cameron. Bryce Cotton for 3. Doesn't go. Holt will get the rebound. $11-point lead early. Ignite Cup finals berth on the line. Open 3 for Terry Taylor. And he drains it. No one even close to him. There's that 3 we're looking for from him earlier. No, they've scratched that off. And have found the leader. All good, AJ. And again, don't trust my word as gospel. It's just some quick thoughts. I think Doolittle's hit 19 or above in his last 5 games. So, Jenkins, that looked nasty. Didn't go, though, for 3 from the left wing. Now they come back to Taylor. He just wanders into the lane. Gets up and over. Doesn't get it to go, though. Cheatham takes it away from him and regathers. Cotton under pressure. Fires it in. Isaac Humphries is there. Little bounce pass. Oh, it was too hot for Cheatham. He couldn't regather. It's the right idea, just not quite the execution. 2:15 gone in this quarter. And it's currently 5-0 on the quarter scoreboard. I want to seal both of these last quarter wins. Brisbane swing it around. Taylor's on the right. Gives it off. Norton trying to stay in bounds. Flynn Cameron gave him a little nudge, and that'll be enough to be a foul. It'll be sideline ball. Need 26 points from the Sixers in this quarter. 26 total. Is that what you're saying, AJ? So over 25.5 this quarter. Holt lays it off. Murray swings it wide. Taylor another open 3. Doesn't go. You need to get him. They need to get moving for you. No, that's all good. Oh, and Cheatham just slices his way through the defence and goes to the hoop. And Brisbane take a timeout. 7-0 run to start the quarter across the first 2 minutes and 51 seconds. Elsewhere in the tennis, in the men's singles quarterfinal of the Australian Open, Yannick Sinner up a set and a break now in the second. Of course, earlier today, Lorenzo Musetti led 2-1 against Novak Djokovic before he had to retire. Musetti had to retire, which is a little disappointing. Where's Cotton? He's out there. He's been out there for 21 minutes and 23 seconds so far out of a possible 22 minutes and 50. Good to have you with us, Charlie. Thanks for joining. For all of you who are just joining us, make sure to hit like and get involved in the comments. Novak does need to buy a lotto ticket. If you remember, this happened to Yannick Sinner as well. I don't know if it was a quarterfinals or maybe the 4th round at Wimbledon. Jay, it was Yannick was up against maybe Grigor Dimitrov. And he was playing out of his skin and he had Yannick on the ropes and he tore his pec and had to retire. And then Yannick went on. So maybe it's a sign. Who knows? He can have his work cut out getting past what looks like possibly Yannick in the semi-final. Gonna work here. Norton into the lane. Gets up and over. Too heavy, but he gets fouled. Hey, Steve-O. Yes, I can do that for you, Charlie. Bryce has 8 points so far. 4 of 7 shooting. All of his misses have been from outside 3-point range. He's 0 for 3 from outside the arc. Mitch Norton at the line now. Good to have you all tuning in. Love it if you hit like on the video, get involved in the comments and hit subscribe. First one's good for Norton. Norton again. Drains another. 11-point ball game. 6:47 on the clock in this quarter. Who do you like from here, guys? Tennis fans amongst you. Is it going to be Sinner and Alcaraz? Can anyone beat Sabalenka in the women's? I really like the young American. I know that Sabalenka did a job on her, Iva Jovic, but I think she's going to be, I think she'll be up to about number 20 in the world in the rankings now. As Adelaide get another bucket through Cheatham. Rebecca Pagula is going to be an interesting semi-final as well. Ball out of bounds off Brisbane last. Jenkins gets a touch into Murray. Rebecca is going to beat her with how she's playing. I think Rebecca should beat Pagula. Yeah. The way Pagula started today against Anisimova was that first set for Pagula and the second set for Rebecca. They were wonderful tennis. Adelaide, nice little alley-oop option. Humphries decides to regather and then pop it into the hoop, and they lead by 15. Blink and you'll miss it. Adelaide going on a run here. Yeah, there's some just young talent in general. Like, you know, even Coco, it's easy to forget that she's 21. You know, Amanda Anisimova's in her early 20s. Score needs to stay 61-48 for the rest of the game. Well, that won't happen because it's already 63-48. Unlucky JR. Make that 63-50 now, and Jacob Holt's going to go to the line. He's having a career night in a very ordinary performance from his team. Hits it. Yeah, it certainly does. It's good to see some of these young players, though, you know, really starting to make their way. There's quite a lot of them, yeah, early 20s, late teens, pushing their way up the rankings, and Boko's another one. Should be just outside the top 10 now after a run here. Another foul here by Adelaide. They're racking up the fouls at the moment. Let's have a look and see if anyone's in foul trouble. Cameron's got 3. Cheatham's got 3. Rakocevic has 3. Ball back in. Maldonado's back out there, which is positive for Brisbane. Tell you who else is doing something right in the women's tennis space is the Czechs. They've got some good young players coming through as well. Yeah, it is pretty wild how it just adjusts itself back and slows back down. Isaac White fires it back to Bryce Cotton. 12-point ball game, 4:48 on the clock. Cotton, step back three. A little too hard and flat. Holt takes the rebound, turns it over. Cotton goes again and misses again. He's having a rough night outside the three-point line. That's 0 from 5. Well, my maths has Cotton 4 on 9 for the night. Terry Taylor pops it out. Murray's there. Maldonado fires it wide. Norton for 3 from the left wing. Leaves it short. Taylor gets the rebound. Gets up. Doesn't get it to go, but is fouled. So he will go to the free throw line. I think the foul, just trying to work out who the foul's been called on. It's on Matt Kenyon. Taylor can't get that to go. Few moments of hesitation there, but that's not what they needed. Got the missed free throws. Humphreys reversing his way into the paint. Tries to go over the top, doesn't get it to go. Taylor takes it away. Yeah, I think, that's what Montrezl Harrell was talking about, Jay, is, there needs to be a culture and an attitude change. Some of the guys that just seem to think it's, a retirement village, you get a bit of a paycheck, which I think was the problem with Jalen Adams. As much as I loved him when he was at the Kings. Holt here now, grinding his way in. Humphreys gets a hand to it. They get the stop. Holt too busy appealing for the foul. White steps back for 3, doesn't go. Kenyon's there trying to get the rebound, trying to swat it out. Taylor takes it though. I've been impressed with what Taylor's offered. He's been pretty solid, but again, I think, like we're talking about before with Windler, he's having to play too much of a ball handling role for the sort of player that he actually is. Ball flung in there. Is that going to be a foul or is it going to be a bucket? We're going to wait and see here. 2 shots for Maldonado. Crazy to think that we had a 57-point first quarter, 41 in the second, and now we're at 16 here and we've got 3.5 minutes to go or so. 3:10. Just so low scoring. Not sure whether they'll bring Terry Taylor back though, to be fair, Jay. Maldonado. I mean, he'll be looking at some other options as well, but he is only 26, Taylor, so there's plenty of upside if you can keep hold of him under an import spot, bring in a Trez as well, and just get a point guard. Get one there. It's hard to know until they appoint a head coach, really. That's the big question. That person's got to make the decision. White turns it over, gives it to Smith-Milner. Murray. Just a shame their season played out the way it did. Maldonado turns his way into the lane. Flicks it up and over, doesn't quite go, but Holt's there to finish. Yeah, real shame. Some of those players they signed, obviously Prather, Tyrell Harrison, even JFL. Looked reasonably positive, but so many injuries. Good to have you all joining us. If you're just joining us for the first time, make sure to hit like on the video. And love that if you can. It helps us grow the platform of the channel. Hit subscribe and get involved in the comments as well. Let us know where you're tuning in, what you're up to with your Wednesday. As we said, we'll be back tomorrow night, Thursday. Bit of Sydney Kings action tomorrow night. We were talking about them just before, up against Illawarra. And then we're probably 50-50 on Friday, whether we'll bring the Melbourne-New Zealand game. That's a really key game for both those sides, though. Yeah, it is. It is unfortunate, but Unfortunately, that's the way of professional sports. 2:40 to go here with a timeout. Let's have a look at the rest of the weekend. So Friday night will be a double header. We'll have New Zealand and Melbourne, Cairns and Tasmania. If we do cover it, we'll only again be that first game. Saturday, no games covered. Adelaide against Southeast Melbourne, top of the table. That's going to be a cracker as well. Illawarra and Perth. And then we go Tasmania, New Zealand. That's a key one again. And Cairns and Sydney to end the weekend. Dear oh dear, that could be absolutely anything if Sydney's on. And then no more Wednesday basketball. We're on to Thursdays after that. So I think maybe the last round there's some Wednesday basketball. Back out of the timeout. Rakocevic turns it into Holt, and they're going to say no, he's just lost it. It's gone out of bounds, so it'll be Brisbane ball. They're working on reducing this deficit, Brisbane. Only a 3-point lead for Adelaide in this quarter with 2:20 on the clock. 19 points in this quarter. I don't know if you're still tuned in, Ken, but this is not looking great for you. It looks like you're off to a flyer. It looks like they're going to score 200 points early. 3-point shot missed from Divas. 2 minutes on the clock. DJ Vasiljevic slides into the lane. Little mid-range jumper. Easy as you like for DJ. Back to 11 points. Minute 52 on the clock. DJ up to 9 points. Mitch Norton. Pop pass over the top to Holt. Smith-Milner trying to set up a screen play for him. They don't buy it, Adelaide, so Smith-Milner gets the ball. Norton swinging around. Goes into the paint. Rakocevic just swats it away. Bryce Cotton now on the ball. No, you're right. You're right, mate. NBA, who do we think the biggest challenger is to the Thunder? Well, I know it's not my Miami Heat. I can tell you that much. Yeah, the Nuggets could be someone. I think the Spurs are going to be dangerous. But I mean, it seems like the really low-hanging fruit answer. As Rakocevic gets another bucket. He's getting fired up here. He reckons he was fouled. Coach Mike Wells is telling him to calm down. The Raptors have been on a little run at the moment. I think the winner comes out of the West. I don't know. I don't see Detroit, as much as their record's really good, or Boston getting there. I know Tatum, he carried. It was interesting actually seeing an interview with him. I saw it earlier today, but I don't think it was today, where he was talking about, if he'd played at a smaller franchise, he would have had a statue already, which is probably fair. You played at a franchise like Boston, everyone expects you to win, but it was an interesting viewpoint. 67:55, 1:08 on the clock here in the third quarter. Wemby is a freak. Where do we think that Giannis ends up? I'm hoping that Miami move heaven and earth to bring him there. Working into the bucket. Rakocevic is fouled with 48.1 on the clock. Going to go to the line for 2 free throws. Who's your side in the NBA, Steve-O and Jay? Drains the second free throw there. So 68-55. I'll win this quarter, but geez, it's a low scoring one. Taylor can't get it. DJ comes up with it for the 36ers. Gives it off to Cotton. Cotton working, just managing the clock. 10-second differential shot clock to game clock, or almost 11 seconds. And we're going to have a foul, are we? Yeah, so fouled on Norton. Needs to be a 3.3 second differential. White inbounds the Cotton. Swing wide. White back to Cotton again. 4 seconds down on the shot clock. He lobs it forward. Smith-Milner comes out, intercepts it. Pull up 3 for Norton. Doesn't go. Can they get another shot away? I don't think so. No, that will be all she wrote. So Adelaide claim another point. 68-55 at three-quarter time. Just 25 points in that quarter. That is less than half of what there was in the first quarter. So we were on pace after that first quarter for a 228-point game. Yeah, that's the piece, right? Like, it's all about what you're going to do. I think Miami, if they're smart, will make a couple of trade moves here before the deadline. Get a couple of first rounders, hopefully. As long as we don't go and make that move for Ja Morant. I think if we trade maybe Wiggins to Golden State, that could be handy. I'm a Rockets fan, but they seem to like losing to the bottom teams a bit too much. Yeah, that'll do it. Yeah, so I'd heard that maybe Wiggins goes to Golden State and Kuminga will come to Miami. So then you think some draft capital will come with it? Only time will tell. Three-quarter time here, though. Adelaide needed to win this last quarter. Morant has just been a waste. All that talent. His attitude is definitely out. His stock's down. Yeah. Well, attitude's the key, right? Look at Ben Simmons. He can't even get a contract. I'm surprised. Someone hasn't tried to make a move for him. I don't know. Probably doesn't want to come back to Australia. Too busy chasing Kardashians or Jenners or whatever they are. Certainly be interesting. But here we go. Fourth quarter all set. Certainly didn't hit your 26 there. It was a tough one. Brisbane have come out of the gates hard to start the fourth. Missed 3 from Adelaide from out wide for Jenkins. And a fumble from Norton. Ball out of bounds. Adelaide ball. That hurts. So as it stands, I'll learn that Adelaide win this game. Even if they don't win this quarter, they will get 6 points. No, they'll get 5 points, which will take them to 20. Which would then mean that they will sit second behind New Zealand, because I believe points differential is the next separator. Be a great pickup for the NBL. But I just don't know. I think you'd want too much money. But, I mean, if you're hearing your players on $1 million and a bit, Jack McVeigh's on $1 million in Cairns. Let's go a little bit more than that. Making the best paid player in the league and see what happens. 3-point shot misses for Brisbane. Fire out again. Smith-Milner for 3. Doesn't go. As I was saying before, yeah, we could end up with a three-way tie on 20 points if Perth picked up maximum points tonight. But Adelaide should probably still get there with 5. Isaac Humphries gets a bucket for Adelaide. Minute and a half gone in the fourth quarter. Ball inside, turned over. Maldonado with a fumble. I'm just looking at it. As it stands, if Adelaide win this quarter, if they don't win this quarter, sorry, they'll win 2, so that'll be 5 points. So they'll go to 20. So they'll sit second, and they'll be susceptible then to Perth running them down. But Perth would need to win every quarter against Southeast Melbourne, which seems like it would be a probable stretch. Missed there altogether. 24-second shot clock violation for Brisbane as well. The Adelaide ball. 2 minutes gone in this quarter. Almost 151. And there's been 2 points. So 23 points in 12 minutes of basketball. These teams are parking the bus. Cheatham, wide. Jenkins sets his feet. Drains the 3. There we go. There's some points. NBL Kings are my side at the moment until such time as Newcastle gets a team again. That'll be a timeout for Brisbane. And in the NBA, it's Miami. Hence why I'm advocating for the Heat to trade for Giannis. But yeah, I'm very much in the modern generation too, where I'm starting to follow a lot of players. So I love seeing, the likes of the Aussies doing well in the NBA. I really like watching Nathan Sobey play at the moment in the NBL as well. And I'll always have a soft spot for DJ Vasiljevic, except when he's playing Sydney. But yeah, I'd love Sydney Brisbane to be a good rivalry again in the NBL for a couple of years. That'd be wonderful. That's why I was advocating for Trez to go there next year. Yeah, I think Giannis could play in a really good format under Spoelstra, so be interesting to see. But yeah, if you haven't figured it out already, Jay, I'm pretty sports mad across all the sports on the channel, so love all my Aussie sports and the American ones. Who have we got in the Super Bowl, lads? What are our thoughts? I thought that the Patriots were going to be mediocre again once they didn't have Brady, but all of a sudden they're back in the Super Bowl. It's rough. Updates around the grounds as we come back from timeout. Australia in the under-19s. 3 for 187. Natasha Samuel got 56. He's out. Ollie Peaks, 58, not out. Yeah, we don't have a venue. That's the problem at the moment, Jay. We need a better venue. I did a bit of commentary for the NBL 1, not last season, the season before, for the Falcons, which was pretty cool. As Norton gets a bucket back for Brisbane. And yeah, venue certainly needs some work, even at NBL 1 level. There's a boom, a big 3 from Jenkins. Looking to land some knockout blows here, Adelaide. Taylor gets 2 back. Does the work in the paint, gets up between 2 bodies and slips it home. Cameron working the arc, swings around, cuts back into the paint. Nice little bounce pass looking for Humphreys, couldn't get it. Out of bounds, that'll be off Brisbane, I think. So it should be Adelaide ball. And it will be Adelaide ball. Will it? It'll be Adelaide ball. 8 seconds on the shot clock. And all the talk is at the moment with NBL expansion that they're looking at the Gold Coast. Cotton steps inside the 3-point line, doesn't hit that one. Very quiet night for Bryce, just 8 points for him. Jacob Holt leads all scorers with 22. John Jenkins the next best at 19. Fire it out. Holt thinks about a 3-pointer, drives into the lane, just lays it up nice and gently. Gets 2 more. 24 points for him tonight, career high. You got the Seahawks. There's Humphries with 2. He's up to 14 points, 5:50 on the clock. Swing it wide. Norton cuts in now. Drives around, bounce pass back out. Devers, Norton for 3 from the right wing. Bobbles in, bobbles out. Doesn't count. Scramble for the ball inside the paint at the Adelaide offensive end. I think we're going to have a jump ball. Work it in now. Cotton on the run around. Humphries has got the ball. Gets up and under the hoop and takes another 2. Maldonado working it down the other end. Halfway through this last quarter, he goes all the way himself, adds 2. That ankle's looking pretty good now. Seahawks have strike everywhere and Darnold's been great. Yeah, Vrabel does seem to get his boys up, but look, I'm not sure who I'd rather see, but we'll go with the Seahawks, I think. Cotton gets a bucket and 1. If you're just joining us, make sure to hit like on the video. I'd love it if you subscribe to the channel as well. Plenty more NBL watch-alongs coming across the back end of the season. Cotton drains the extra 1. 20-point lead, biggest of the game. Interestingly, Brisbane have not led this game at all tonight. As Maldonado gets in for another 2, a little hobble. Yeah, it's really growing, isn't it? I mean, I'm pumped to see the NFL coming out here to the MCG next year. Next season. Humphries running the point. Jenkins fires it out. Cheatham slices into the lane. A little fumble, gets the ball back, but the foul's been called. Nice little bounce pass inbounds. Humphries to the bucket. Are we going to have a foul or are we going to have a bucket? That's the question. Just a foul. Yeah, I'm hoping, I'm a Chargers fan, so I'm hoping it's LA v LA. I think it'll be 2 West Coast teams. So change of basketball going on here. 4:18 on the clock, 18-point game. 4:18, perfect timing, Siege. 4 minutes and 18 on the clock, 18-point ball game. Isaac White on the ball now for Adelaide. Cotton's there. It steps up for a 3, doesn't drain it. Swatted back by Cheatham, and now we've got a foul here. And called on Devers. So it'll be Adelaide ball again. 4:07 on the clock now. You think Adelaide will secure 6 points here, which will be enough to see them into the Ignite Cup final. And barring an absolute apocalyptic result, they will play New Zealand on the Gold Coast in 3 and a bit weeks' time. Yeah. No, I'm happy with that. I'm happy with that change, and I think that's I think that's a good chance for you guys in terms of a new coach. Seeing a bit of a review here as to which way this ball's going. Oh, bang. Another three-pointer for Adelaide from Cotton. He's warming up late, BC. 3:45 on the clock. Yeah, Menenga being out is a huge loss for them. You're 100% right. That's going to hurt them in terms of that run home. Norton flicks it out. Taylor, Divas. Maldonado's a good meter behind the three-point line. Goes for it anyway. Cheatham takes the rebound. I mean, I think they've now fallen behind Illawarra, New Zealand, so it's interesting. There's two games between Tasmania and Illawarra now, and 2.5 back to New Zealand, but Tassie in a world of hurt as well with Magne injured. DJ Vasiljevic for three. Another three for Adelaide, and a bit of push and shove here. The boys are right into it. Rakasevich is on top of someone. Is that the players are piling in? They're all in there. There's push and shove. The coaches are in there. The referees are in there as well. We've got bench players. Terry Taylor's on the ground. I think it's Maldonado at the bottom of it. Zylan Cheatham's being held back. Bryce Cotton's trying to separate everyone. That really escalated. My goodness. That came from nowhere. Injured Casey Prather's in there as well. This will be interesting to see what comes out of this. Mike Kelly's in there. Darryl McDonald's in there. Wow. We might see some ejections here. We'll wait and see. Just got lively. Hello. Rakasevich. He's just stumbled. Maldonado and he, a little bit of a push. He's appealed to the referee. Maldonado's grabbed him again. He just pushed him and Maldonado's dragged him to ground with him. And then all of a sudden, players have run in. The referee's right on top of it. Terry Taylor's gotten involved. The referee's got a shove as well. Then everyone's in there. Alex Dukas, who hasn't played, come in there. Yeah, JFL. Hey, Siege, there is 3 minutes and 2 seconds. This is a little wild and woolly. I feel like Perth the other night, except they were fighting each other, not the other team. Meanwhile, in the tennis, Sinner's serving for the second set. No, you're right, Siege. I'll try and keep you up to date across the last few minutes here. A little bit happening, though. I don't think there's any contact, really, that was excessive. Kosovic went over the top and his forearm nearly got Maldonado as he fell and went to ground. This adds some value to your courtside seats. I tell you what, there's chairs getting flicked out of the way, people bailing out, the security guards just trying to clear some space. Coaches and teammates wasted no time in getting over there. The referee's all of about 65 kilos ringing wet, trying to pull back a 105 kilo Nick Kosovic. Alex Dukas is the one that was absolutely wild. Not even suited up and he's in there. Hey, Candy, Jenkins points. I can get you that while we work out what's going on with all this melee. We had a referee and holding back Zylan Cheatham because that would have been to be decided still, Siege. To be decided. What are we looking for? Jenkins points, 19 points at the moment. 63% shooting. 7 from 11, 5 from 9 outside the 3 points. Rakosevic is just getting some treatment there. He's got a bit of a scratch or something on his neck. There's a lot going on here. So on the Ignite Cup live ladder while they're working that all out. Adelaide lead by 8 points with 3 minutes to go here, so they should go through now on 21 points, and then it'll be more than likely New Zealand they're playing. Yannick Sinner served out the second set. That's without assists and rebounds. That's correct. Jenkins 19 points, 1 rebound, 2 assists. There's a bit to unpack here in this melee. And of course, Perth and South East Melbourne will be up next. We won't be doing a live watch along for it, unfortunately. But we will be back tomorrow for Sydney and Illawarra as the Hawks try and clamber their way back, the defending champions, into the play-in spots. .21 game. They haven't tallied that 3 yet either, so we're just waiting to see. They're very much determined, so apologies on that. I had that chalked up that DJ had drained. Referees are watching replays as we go. Still 3:02 on the clock. So Nick wins again. Yeah, he's not even here to crow. I'll tell you what, that line being about 21 at the start is right on by the look of it. All right, we're going to call everyone in. Just waiting to see what the decision is. They've called both coaches in. Three Brisbane players ejected. Terry Taylor, Maldonado, and Rakasevich all DQ'd. So they're all disqualified from the game. So 3 players disqualified and 3 players off the bench ejected. And 4 Adelaide free throws. So, yeah, so 1 player from Adelaide gone, 2 active players disqualified in Maldonado and Taylor, and then 3 other players non-active, all ejected as well. Jay, you won't be able to field a side next game. You and I might get a game next week, Jay. So Divas was off the bench as well. So that's 3 of their 10 players who kitted up tonight. So they're down to 7. Dear, oh dear. Then Adelaide are going to have 4 free throws. This is wild at the moment. They're still trying to figure it all out. Sam McDaniel's gone. Alex Dukas is gone. They're on the bench. And Sam McDaniel's out for the year anyway, so that's not really an impact, but that'll be 4 free throws to Adelaide. 2-minute blast should be twice as useful as me, Jay. Tane Murray's out as well. Just a debacle all in all. I'm still got to get through the end of this. Official attendance tonight, 2,441 people. I'm not even sure. So it's going to be Adelaide ball. They've got 4 free throws. Siege, 3:02 on the clock. So Cotton's at the line now, taking the first free throw. He hits that. Hits the second. Yeah, to be fair, I think Adelaide got off fairly lightly with only Rakocevic being thrown out of this. Yeah, Zylan Cheatham and some others were well in the thick of that at different points. He's hit all 4 free throws. And I think there's a technical foul to follow, so I think it'll be Adelaide ball. It is Adelaide ball now, 3:02 on the clock. Swing it wide and drain a 3-pointer as well, Flynn Cameron. All of a sudden, they're rocketing away here. And then Brisbane get 3 points back. All of a sudden, the points are flying. Waiting for the scoreboards all to catch up. And oh, look at that. Bryce just soars over the top, floats one up and into the hoop. The score on the game is a little out of whack, but anyway, wait and see. There we go. We've gone to 97 now. I don't think we're at 97. We're at 95. Now they've gone 98. They're just giving points to Adelaide at the moment. It's all tallying up. Oh, they're counting the 3-point that DJ hit. All of a sudden, it's a 30-point lead with 2 minutes to go. That's what I think. Trying to decipher what's happening here. It's a bit of a dog's breakfast. Flynn Cameron on the ball. He steps up for another 3 and hits another 3. Bring up the ton. Going to make a run at this overs after all, Ken, if you're still there. Just had about 15 points in less than 90 seconds. Minute 31 on the clock. Norton with a jumper leaves it short. DJ Vasiljevic takes the rebound, gives it to Bryce Cotton. Bryce Cotton had 8 points midway through this quarter. He's at 20 now. Spins away, make that 22. Putting on a show. Now, Brisbane with Bradkey trying to go for the 3-pointers. He's come off the bench. They get some points finally, Brisbane. Get a 3-pointer through purchase. Adelaide taking a timeout now. I don't know what's happening. This is mayhem. Organised chaos. No, they haven't taken a timeout. Matt Kenyon's checked in. Minute 5 on the clock. Great to have you all tuning in. If you haven't already, please hit like on the video. We'd love it if you subscribe to the channel. Get involved in the comments as well. And great having the company of Siege, Jay, Ken, AJ earlier on, Candy, Steve-O. Thank you all for your time and getting engaged on the channel. We're into the junk time now as Isaac White goes forward, steps up, banks it in off the glass. 34-point ball game. They've blown it out. And it looks like, for all intents and purposes, it'll be Adelaide up against the New Zealand Breakers on February 22nd, right back here at the Gold Coast. In as the ball goes out of bounds. And it's called against purchase. That'll be Adelaide ball in the Ignite Cup final for $400,000. All right, Siege, good to have you. Thank you. We'll have a run through in a moment. 34.9 seconds on the clock. Have a run through here The score is 105-71. John, it's at the bottom of the screen there. 33 seconds on the clock. 11-second differential. Oh, don't be a stranger, Jay. Welcome back anytime. Good little stop there. Purchase gets a little swat away. Swung wide. Purchase for 3, and he drains another one. Why isn't he in the starting lineup? He didn't get time until guys got ejected. He's draining 3s like there's no tomorrow. Both the bench units are out there now. That would have been goaltending from Purchase anyway. I'm just trying to work out who that is that's hit that bucket. It's Michael Harris. And right on the buzzer, they hit one. No, would have been a three-quarter court shot. 107-74. It had everything. I think we had about 7 players ejected or disqualified in the end. My word, that was eye-opening. Let's run through. We'll start with Adelaide. Leading scorer ended up being Bryce Cotton with 22 points. 22 points, 5 rebounds, 7 assists. Next best, John Jenkins, 19 points, 1 rebound, 2 assists. We have Flynn Cameron, 16, 1 and 3. Isaac Humphries, 16, 5 rebounds, 3 assists. And DJ Vasiljevic, 12 rebounds, 12 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists. We're all the men in double digits. For Brisbane, the leading scorer, Jacob Holt, a career-high 24 points, 5 rebounds, no assists. Mitch Norton, 11 points, 5 rebounds, 6 assists. Hunter Maldonado, after missing a little bit of time, came back from that ankle injury, 7 points, 1 rebound, 8 assists. Terry Taylor, 8 points, 10 rebounds, 2 assists. Tristan Devers, 9 points and 2 rebounds. So, as I said, quite a few players asked to take a seat. Taylor, Devers, Maldonado, and all DQ'd. And then I think Tane Murray ejected as well, alongside 2 bench players, Alex Dukas and Sam McDaniel, and then Nick Rakocevic as well. So absolutely never a dull moment in the NBL. A big thank you all for tuning in. As I said, we'll be back tomorrow night for Sydney v Illawarra. I look forward to seeing you all then. If you haven't already, hit like on the video, hit subscribe. Make sure to check out the rest of the content on our channel. If you want to stay up to date with all of our sports snippets, you can catch us on your favourite social media platforms at The Chris Mack Show. Thanks again for tuning in. Have a wonderful night, and we'll see you again soon here on your home of the black and white of sports. No grey opinions.